So now that we all have the same information, Betty, I was hoping that we could hear from you about what's important to you for this phase of your life.
Well, I'd say Charlie is my most important thing in my life now. I mean, even more than the pain medication or the pain management, I'm just concerned about him, toward the very end.
Yes.
And I don't want him to have horrible memories of that.
Of course.
She wants to spend as much time as possible with Charlie, quality time. I think that's the main point you're trying to make, right?
That's right. And if I'm in pain or I start to get tired, then that cycle starts all over again, and I don't get enough sleep, and then I'm tired, and it's a wretched cycle that I don't like being in.
Well, Betty, I think we've made some progress on your symptom management while you've been here and tried to get your pain and fatigue under better control. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. I think everything has helped. I feel that when I have enough sleep, I have enough energy, and then I could spend time with Charlie.
Sure. So when you leave, we'll have a plan in place for your symptom management, and we can refer you to the palliative care clinic at the cancer center where you'll be getting your chemo if you do the clinical trial, and they'll continue to work with you on your symptom management.
Thank you. That's good to know.
Yes.
Because
Definitely.
thinking about that trial and going through the trial, it's a scary thought, and I don't know if the pain gets worse. Well, I wonder, does that mean, do I have to stick with the whole trial, or is it a possibility I could opt out?
Betty, you know that we're going to make every attempt to control your symptoms, and if you at any point in time feel like you need to opt out of the trial, you are welcome to do that, and we'll support you in whatever you decide.
Okay.
Betty, when you enroll in a clinical trial, they'll go over a consent form with you and explain the process, and they will emphasize that it's totally voluntary and that you can opt out at any time during the trial.
I'm sorry, some things, I remember late. That's why Sandy comes with me to a lot of my visits with the doctors, because she's my extra set of ears and eyes.
Definitely.
And she will tell me, things I've forgotten. And in all fairness, the oncologist probably told me that, but when I'm in a lot of pain, I have trouble remembering some of those things.
I know you're really anxious about the clinical trials, so we're getting some questions answered. This is really good that we're doing this now.
So Betty, what we have really heard from you so far is that there are two things that are really important to you. The first being that you want to be as independent and alert and oriented as possible so that you can have good quality time with Charlie with the time that you have left. And the second thing is that you really want to focus on planning for Charlie's long-term care. And that was one of the reasons why we went ahead and brought Sandy and Paul here today, so that you guys could really talk to each other and say the things that needed to be said and hear the things that needed to be heard around his long-term care plans.
Right, that's really a good idea. I think when I worry about Charlie going to school, and I really shouldn't, because I think he's going to graduate high school.
Definitely.
And, he's a bright kid.
I think so too. I think Charlie has a very bright future, but I don't want you to worry about that right now. I want you to concentrate on taking care of yourself and symptom management and spending good quality time with Charlie, your friends and family. That's the main thing I want you focused on. I can take care of Charlie. I love you all like you're my family. I mean, I am his second mom already. I'm there with him all the time, and I so enjoy his company and being with him. He's such a joy. And I truly believe that he has a good future ahead of him. I think he will graduate from high school. I think there's lots of opportunities once that happens. There's training programs, continuing education. There's all kinds of things we're going to look into. But I want you to know and just stand affirmed that I will be there for him and that he is going to do well and that I'm going to advocate for him.
Thank you. Is that, maybe Tara, that's something that you could help with?
Certainly, we can start by connecting, as we've already talked, connecting you guys with the resources within the school system, and also start to put into place a formal legal guardianship plan so that it's set in stone for you. And then we can also make sure that we've exhausted or looked into all long-term resources. And then I've also talked with Paul quite a bit.
Good. That sounds very good. That sounds very good.
Of course, I'm here to support you and Charlie financially. Unfortunately, living so far away, I'm not going to be able to provide the emotional support for you and for him. But obviously, if anything comes up that needs that financial support, even if it includes placement in a home for the retarded, why, I'm here for that.
Oh,
Oh no, that's not part of
Paul,
the plan at all. It's a misunderstanding there. No,
Paul, it's,
we don't want that.
thank you, thank you for coming down here all that way to be here today with us. But I don't think you're going to have to worry about putting Charlie into any kind of home for the retarded, because Charlie's not retarded. He's made so much progress, and he's really looking forward to seeing you later on today. So I hope after this, maybe you could come over and see him, because I know he's going to want to see you.
I'll certainly try. Yes.
All right. You're going to have to be a big part of his life now, and a big connection in his life. I mean, with Sandy's guidance and Tara's help, he's going to go on and do bigger and better things.
Yes.
And I just really feel confident in that.
I agree. Very much so.
So Betty, what I hope that you're really hearing is that although Paul and Sandy can provide very different support for Charlie long term, that they are here and they do want to both provide it. Even if it's different, they are both going to be here for Charlie long term. Is that something that you're hearing?
Well, I feel very good about that. I'm not going to worry about Charlie's future.
Good.
I think he's in good hands with everybody.
Well, thank you for being so honest with us about your thoughts and feelings. And I wondered if there was anything else while we're all here together that was important for us to talk about.
I don't know, Sandy. Was there anything else?
You all have been very supportive, and I appreciate that so much. There is that one thing we need to talk about at the end, how we're going to deal with Charlie.
Well, I guess there's two issues: the house and, well, I just go out and say it. Okay. I don't know what I'm going to do about my funeral. I don't know how to talk to Charlie about this. I think we've skirted around the issue a little bit.
Where he's going to be when the time comes at the end.
Right, because, see, we live right next door to each other, and when he goes and lives with Sandy, he's going to be living right next door to the house that he grew up in.
Sure, absolutely.
And I don't want him to have any sad memories of that. I wouldn't
affect him.
So why don't we take things one at a time, and I think perhaps Franck can help you with the funeral question that you had.
Well, with regard to the funeral, no one really gets much practice in planning for that, none of us, and so I'll be glad to help you with that, and I think others on the team will be too, and I think we can find ways to have Charlie be part of that, to make it meaningful, not just the logistics of it, but to make it meaningful and to have it be the celebration of your life that you would want it to be.
I like that word, celebration. I mean, it's sad and gloomy situation, no doubt, but there could be the element of a celebration going on.
There should be, yes.
And maybe we could even have some music or something like that. Maybe we could talk about that.
Well, I think that's what it should be, if that's what you want it to be, and also to have your legacy known, and Charlie's a big part of your legacy, the way you raised him, even though there were difficult decisions around his birth, and all the children that you taught and whose life you touched.
I forget about some of those things sometimes, Thank you for saying that. I always like talking with you. You bring up some new ideas, and the conversations that we've had about religion, I never thought I would have. But thank you. I'm grateful we had those conversations.
Thanks, Betty. Those were good conversations, and I enjoyed them as well.
So you were also talking about Charlie and about living
Right, that
next
was the other
door.
issue.
So
That-
can you tell
Right.
us a little bit more about that?
Well, when it's getting near time for me, I don't want to leave Charlie with any kind of sad memories, especially in that house. But I really don't know where to go.
Sure.
How do I deal with that? I mean, who's going to talk to him? I don't want him to see me, so.
At that time, you might consider entering hospice care. They have a wonderful range of services. They'll work with Charlie. They have art therapists and counselors to work with him. They'll have bereavement care for him and Sandy after you die. They have a wonderful inpatient unit where you can go. It's very home-like. Your family and friends can be there with you, and they'll manage all your symptoms at the end of life.
Okay. Well, thank you. I didn't even know hospice provided all of that.
Oh, yes.
But thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll look into that.
Good option.
And I agree that I think it's a good idea to get hospice involved now so that you have all the information that you need to make a decision when that time comes. And I want you to know, just to summarize everything that we've discussed, that we all support you in wanting to go forward with a clinical trial. And you have our commitment to make sure that we concentrate on your symptom management and on giving you the best quality of life possible so that you can spend that time with Charlie and the people that you love. And I know we've covered a whole lot here today, so if there's anything that you've forgotten about or anything that you have questions about, you know that you're welcome to call our office to fill in any gaps that we might have left. And we'll make sure that we set you up with an appointment for the outpatient clinic, and they'll be calling you to set up that appointment. And whether it's here in the hospital or in that clinic, we'll be there with you every step of the way.
All right, thank you so much. I just wanted to say that talking with all of you, I just really appreciate all the help and concern. Sometimes it's overwhelming, but I really do appreciate it, and I am so glad that I met each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank
Pleasure
you.
to
Thank
meet
you
you
so
too,
much,
Betty.
Betty.
Thank you.